Grab your popcorn and dim the lights. We're taking a trip back in time to explore the glitz, the glamour, and the flickering projectors of Toronto's earliest silver screens. From grand opera houses to the birth of the twin cinema, here is the high-energy history of Toronto's movie scene from 1874 to 1919. The Victorian premiere, 1870s to 1890s. 1874. The era of elegance begins as the Grand Opera House officially opens its doors, bringing high culture to the city. 1895, September 2nd, just in time for Labor Day, the Princess Theatre makes its royal debut. 1896, August 31st, history is made. Robinson's Musée hosts Toronto's very first motion picture screening, changing entertainment forever. 1896, November 16th, blink and you'll miss the rebrand. Robinson's Musée sheds its old skin to become the Bijou Theatre. 1899, September 4th, the Buffalo-based Shea family expands their empire northward, opening the first Shea's Theatre in the city. A new century, a new vibe, 1901 to 1906. 1901, a new light hits the city as the Star Theatre opens to the public. 1903, November 2nd, out with the old, in with the majestic. The Toronto Opera House undergoes a transformation and reopens as the Majestic Theatre. 1905, a year of highs and lows. While the Madison Theatre celebrates its grand opening, tragedy strikes the Bijou Theatre, which burns to the ground in a spectacular blaze. 1906, the show must go on. The Hicks Theatre joins the ranks of Toronto's growing entertainment district. The boom of 1907 to 1910. 1907, December 9th, the Gaiety Theatre brings a burst of energy to the winter season. 1909, August 30th, the Agnes Street Theatre makes its first splash in the local papers. 1909, September 6th, the Majestic pivots its brand again, now listed as the Majestic Music Hall. 1909, late year, a busy season, another Shea's Theatre opens, while over in Uxbridge, the Classic Theatre begins its run. 1910, August 1st, the Victoria Theatre opens at 83 Victoria Street, quickly followed by the Colonial Theatre and the Auditorium in the fall. 1910, the Uxbridge Switch, a changing of the guard in Uxbridge as the Majestic opens and the Classic closes its doors. 1910, farewell. The short-lived Agnes Street Theatre takes its final bow. The Golden Age approaches, 1911. 1911, September 11th, the King George Theatre opens, adding a touch of royal flair to the city. 1911, October 20th, the Star gives a first mention to the Strand Theatre, a name that would become a staple of the scene. 1911, November 15th, the uniquely named Yukon Theatre makes its first appearance in the press. 1911, late year, the Suburban Amusement Company introduces the Revue Theatre, which famously still stands today, and the Grant Theatre opens to round out a massive year for Toronto's stage and screen. 1913, the Great Theatre Boom, the year when going to the show became the city's favorite pastime. The Big Nickel kicks things off with its grand opening. January 11th, the Victoria Theatre brings new life to 651 and a half Yonge Street. August 4th, summer heats up with the debut of the Park Theatre. November 24th, the Beaver Theatre joins the neighborhood. December 15th, the legendary Lowe's Theatre opens its doors, setting a new standard for luxury. New Kid on the Block, the National, New Onoka, and Tech Theatres all make their grand debuts. Identity shift. The auditorium gets a makeover and a new name. It is now the Avenue, 382 Queen. 1914. Innovation and expansion. While the world was changing, the movie business was reaching new heights of sophistication. February 16th. History is made. The Winter Garden Theatre opens right above Lowe's, creating Canada's very first twin cinema. August 4th, summer heats up with the debut of the Park Theatre. April 14th, a new way to spend the afternoon arrives with the Pastime Theatre. April 27th, Shays Theatres from Buffalo bring some international flair by opening the Hippodrome. May 13th, the Astor Theatre makes its first appearance in the records. New additions: the Regal Theatre opens at 1473 Queen. The Come Back, a cheeky play on Come Back, starts welcoming guests. And the Bluebell Theatre is mentioned for the first time. 1915 through 1916, changing of the guard. The industry begins to mature, with bigger names and fresh branding taking center stage. 1915, the Pickford Theatre opens, named after America's sweetheart herself. The Broadway Theatre is first mentioned. November 27th, the Ideal Theatre makes its debut. Christmas Day, the Hicks Theatre gets a holiday gift, a new identity as the Globe Theatre. 1916, August 25th, the Regent Theatre reopens with a splash at the former site of the Majestic. Curtain Call, the Gaiety Theatre takes its final bow and closes its doors. 1917 through 1919, the rise of the Allen Empire. The final years of the decade saw one family name become synonymous with the movies: Allen. 1917, November 10th, the Allen Theatre flagship opens, signaling a new era of cinema. November 13th, the Oakwood Theatre begins its run. April 10th, the Beaver joins the rapidly growing Allen chain. The Grand Capitol Theatre opens its doors. 1919, the Allen Victory Lap. March 10th, the Bloor Theatre opens under the Allen banner. August 18th, the Danforth Theatre follows suit. November 17th, the King George is rebranded as the Alhambra Theatre. November 24th, the Christie Theatre welcomes its first audience. December 15th, the Beach Theatre opens, rounding out the Allen family's incredible year. Final notes: the Academy open, while the Majestic and Uxbridge officially closes its doors. Thanks for taking this cinematic trip through time with us. If you loved seeing how Toronto's movie scene began, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a premiere.